Mobile phones have been in use during the last 25 years, and this is the statistics. The worldwide, 97% of the people use mobile phones. And Indians, there are 74%. Chinese excel us by 91%. And I, as an American citizen, we use the most mobile phones in the world, 103%. International organizations like Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers and International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radio Frequencies. They have recommended certain guidelines so that people are unduly exposed to RF. RF fields which are considered from 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz, based on the threshold for heating and behavioral disruption, which causes at 4 watts per kilogram whole body specific absorption rate. For the general public, the safety limit was 50 times lower. It is already reduced, which is 4 watts per kilogram, which causes adverse effects, to 0.08 watts per kilogram. This is for the general public. For the occupational exposure, which deal with RF day in and day out, the exposure limit is only 10 times lower than the 0.4. So you can see that the international organizations have already considered and reduced the limits for exposures for occupational exposure 10 times lower and 50 times lower to the general public. For localized exposure like mobile phones, which is you place very close to the brain, the exposure limit is 10 watts per kilogram, averaged over 10 grams per tissue. So these are very latest recommendations. These international organizations also consider all the available scientific information to set up these exposure guidelines. So as you see, I would like to reiterate again that ICNIRP and IEEE have already considered and lowered the exposure limits based on the 4 watts per kilogram, which causes heating and behavioral disruption.